Let's come. Boom, we are live. It says it's so on my screen. Hi out there. We are excited again to be coming to you with another You're More Than Their Mother and
Jessica with the JawResearchInstitute.com.
yay, with another webinar. Again, we are so excited about this because this is something that grew out organically out of a talk that we were having, actually on a webinar that Jessica was hosting that I was on, and we just realized the synergy that was there. So we decided to really grow that out in an effort to help the people it is that we serve, and in order to give you really some information of value that you can take away from and use on the spot. So we are so excited about that, and thank you for coming along with us as we figure it all out and iron out the kinks, okay? So we want to get started with our formal introduction so that you get to know us well, and we will jump right into topic. I'll get started. Hi, my name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother, and I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. Please.
Hello, my name is Jessica A. Walker. I go by Jaw, which is Jessica Advocates Wellness. It's also my initials, but don't tell anybody. I am what am I? I'm a mom, entrepreneur, and I help entrepreneurs with a giver spirit. So I help anyone out there with a message to share, that they just want to get out there and expose to the world and share their gifts with the world and help more people and get paid to help more people do that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Oh, and maternal mental health advocate as well. So.
I love it. I love it. That's right. I love the make sure you let them know that it's paid, because anything else will be called charity, right? So we want to be very clear that is ultimately what it is we want to move towards. So today we are talking about, and I always have to write it down because I'm a forgetter, but today we are talking about giving yourself the benefit of the doubt. And I want to give you a little bit of preface when I talk about this first, and then we're going to get two perspectives. I always provide a perspective from your personal, that you can use in your personal life as well as in your business, because I want you to be very clear that this is happening in your life and you're a whole person, so it is automatically seeping over into your business. So I want to be able to show and expose it so that we can do the things necessary in order to improve it, right? The quality of your life and sometimes the revenue of your business, which is ultimately what we are going for. Yeah. So when I talk about giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, I see so very often, especially in just general conversations that I have with people, that so often we default to the negative about ourselves, our own selves. And we will do that in terms of, let me just give you an example. Actually, Jessica and I were talking off camera, and I want to use a short example in this case when she was saying, she was talking to someone, because this has happened to me as well. She was talking to someone about their business, and they said, well, I don't want to come off a certain way, right? And she said back to them, well, are you that type of person, right? And that person said, no, I'm not like that at all. So then her response to them was, well, then why are you saying you don't want to come off that way? If you're not that kind of person, why would you think you'd come off in a way that type of person would? Why are you not giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, right? And Jessica, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have used your example. I should have let you use your own.
Okay, we're all in this together. It's all
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I say that all the time.
For the benefit of the good of the people, of our moms, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so, I think it came right to mind right away because it happens all the time with me as well. Not just with clients or people that I'm speaking with, but it really just happens in day-to-day interactions that people are saying that. And the reason that I wanted to bring it up today and that is so important is because I want you to understand that that's a mindset. That is a mindset of lack. That is a mindset of a deficiency, right? That you see in yourself. It is a mindset that if that is what you think about who it is that you are, that is how you show up in the world, in life, and in business. You show up a little bit smaller, a little bit less grand than who it is that you actually are, because you don't have the firm, full belief in who it is that you say that you are. So it's very important that we shift that mindset. Now, what really started this topic off was a pop culture really incident. And I'm sure many of you all are familiar with the Kardashians, and everybody has their opinion about them, right? You're familiar with them, right, Jessica?
Oh, definitely, definitely, definitely. If you have a teenage daughter, you know somewhere something about the Kardashians. Just, yeah.
Absolutely, because we're just inundated with them all the time. Whether you watch TV or not, they're up on your Yahoo news feed, on your Google news feed. It just doesn't matter. They're all over. So I always tell people, they're neither here nor there for me, whatever. I see the business aspect of it, right? And the business aspect of it all to me is Kris Kardashian. Kris Kardashian, to me, she is a mogul mom. Now, again, you can have your feelings about what it is that you think she does with her family or not. I don't have any judgment for that, because I always tell people, Kris doesn't get a vote in my life, so I don't get a vote in hers. So I don't even expend my energy on.
There you go.
I don't expend my energy on if she should be doing something or not. Again, I'm looking at the business aspect, and that's what I want you to do, to find the value in that. So yesterday I was on Instagram, really just kind of scrolling, wasting time. And I came across something that spoke about her son, Rob Kardashian. He has a girlfriend named China, and China is pregnant. So on this blurb, it is that I saw, because it looked like someone had screenshot, if my memory serves me correctly. It talked about how Rob and China are going to have a television series. And they have 6 shows that they will air on their reality show. And this is all about their pregnancy and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh boy.
You
said, oh boy. Sorry to interrupt, but I had to say, oh boy.
Right? So it was 6 shows that they'll have. And then they're going to have this bonus show, I think they called it, about the birth of this baby. So I put I screenshot it and shared it on this Facebook group that I'm in, this private Facebook group. And we were talking, and so what I put up there as my caption was, the real story is Kris Kardashian is a sales and marketing beast, right? So when people were chiming in, and this is a group of fantastic moms, right? But we have some great conversation in there. So when those people were chiming in on the article, on what it is that is said, some of everything that they were talking about, pretty much, well, I should say predominantly, what they wanted to talk about is how bad a mother Kris was, basically. And how she's pimping. Somebody went as far as to say she pimps her children.
Wow.
And to me, that was so, number one, so far off track, in my opinion, right? But it was, they missed everything it is that I was saying, that the caption it is that I was really trying to guide them towards the discussion that we should be having. I think so often especially when there's money involved, we are so inundated, we are so shrunken by other people's opinion of us that it takes what adjective do I want to use there? It keeps us from moving forward, or it will keep us stuck in our tracks because we can't get past what we think other people will think about us. It doesn't make it the truth of who it is that we are. We just put so much value in what other people think that we allow it to either stop us from moving forward, or we allow it to, we move forward based upon what we think somebody else will think of us, right? Opposed to giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt, saying that I am a mother and a person of integrity. I advocate for my children always, and I always put their safety first, and then we move forward. Because what I wanted them to understand, and what I even explained to them, is that if you thought that way, then you would give other people the benefit of the doubt in the same way that you're giving yourself. But because you don't think that way of yourself, they couldn't see past the fact that they felt like she didn't do that for her children. Well, my thought is always, what makes you think that you're a better mother than anybody else? We're all in this together. We're all out here doing the best that we can, right? So I'm pretty passionate about it. But just from what I said, Jessica, chime in and give me some of your feedback on giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and how it relates to that Kardashian story.
Okay, so when we talked a little bit offline, you kind of gave me some background and some underlining of, let me put it that way, of the Kardashian story and kind of where you fell into their whole story of finding out about them. Let me say that. And when they first started off, you mentioned that that Kim had, she was being taken, some pictures were being taken of her, and the time had run out, and her mom pulled her aside and said, you know what, there's no more pictures. No, if you want to book a session with her, then feel free to contact us, but we're done with the pictures. And about her attending a party, and oh yeah, if you want her to attend, she said, all excited about attending this party, and she's going, wait. If they want you to attend a party, then you have to understand the reason behind it. They're using you, so you got to understand that they'll be getting, 4 to 5 times back what they'll be getting, what you will be putting forward, they'll be getting back, so you need to, work some type of deal out with them. I think you said it was like 10% or something, right? She had proposed to her.
Yes, I don't remember the number. I think I made that up.
But so I say all of that to say that as a mother, I think it's always in our best interest, number one, to make sure that our children are positioned and that they're utilizing their gifts and their talents, regardless of, like Sherilyn said, regardless of how she all came into all of this, because we all know how she came into it. But regardless of all of that, once you have the platform, once you have the ability, it would be wasteful for you not to use it. Let me just use that word. It would be a shame for you not to leverage the fact that you have all of the attention and all eyes on you. Whenever you have the spotlight and the attention on you, you need to make sure that you're leveraging and you're utilizing it to the best of your ability, and that you're able to pull multiple streams of income out of that. Because let's be truthful and let's be honest and be real. We don't know how many more shows they're going to have. Their show could be gone tomorrow, whatever. But they still have the perfume. They still have the apps. They still have the books. They still have the, all these other different streams of income that they have. And that all stemmed from their mother having the mindset to go, I don't care what nobody else out there thinks. We're going to get money. We're getting our coin. So I don't care what everybody else thinks. And then if you even step back and think about it, she not only did it for one girl, she then said, now you guys start a fashion line. Now you go out there and model. Now they leveraged one sister to do all this that made the family a legacy that they can now pass down. And now the women that are having children, even Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, she can be like, bye to him and still have her own money and be good and be okay. And her family will be set. So she set up her family for generations. So I agree with Sherilyn on that. She is a marketing beast, and until she said it, I really didn't acknowledge that, but she did.
She absolutely is. I love that. Multiple streams of income. You're exactly right. And I always tell people, and I think about things in really its simplest form, because sometimes I think we complicate things where we don't have to. But I think about, for example, the way that we came to know more about Kim Kardashian initially. And I think about that, and I tell people all the time when they say, oh, well, she only got famous because of this. Number one, so what? Okay. Yeah. People have all done something that your tape just may not have gotten out there. But secondly, right? And that's okay, because it's your life. You do whatever it is you want to do. You don't let anyone shame you into anything, and don't let anyone should all over you.
And a caveat to that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but a caveat to that is the girl was young. You do stupid stuff when you're young. We all have been there where we've done something that we would look back now and go, please don't tell my daughter or my son I did that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. She was absolutely
more public.
Listen, just kind of with virtual high five, really, with that, because So that number one, so what? Like I said, 1A is she was young, just like Jessica said. But number two for me is she supposed to live in the shame of that forever? Should she have gone somewhere and hidden because what other people think of her? She has moved on with her life. And really, to me, a lot of the anger that comes around what it is that they're doing is because people see the for want of a better word, I'll say the inadequacies in themselves. They realized they had opportunities to do something greater and they didn't take advantage of it. And they see that she did, and it causes an angst in them and an unrest. And sometimes we take it out in a way that is non-productive, and we do things like throw venom, or we do things like throw negativity at that person because we really see ourselves in that and what we would consider and put on ourselves as shortcomings. So, and for me, again, that all comes with not giving a mentality, not giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt. We don't have to see something and then say, shrink ourselves and say, well, I would have did it or I could have did it, but I don't want people to think ... right? Because that keeps us stuck where we are. So with all that being said, now that we have pulled it out, and in one of the terms of one of my favorites, Iyanla Vanzant, now that we've called a thing, right? And we know what it is out here. How do we rectify that, Jessica? I want to throw that out to you. How do we start to self-correct the doubt or that negative self-chatter it is that we have and that we give ourselves? Can you give me one, or I can start off whatever it is that works for you, but tell me how it is that we correct that.
Well, I think it's just being aware and then finding out what it is that triggers us into that mindset. So whether it be, like you said, the way that we think that someone's thinking about us, what we think they think about us, or, placing that too high on our radar of self-efficiency. So taking a step back and understanding what your triggers are, what's that thing that's going to pull you into that mindset, and understanding what it is so that way you can recognize it and then address it and then take it over. So adding on to that, one little piece I wanted to say is, like you said, Sherilyn, I think you actually said it, but I want to reiterate. What do you think about yourself? What is it that you think about yourself? And that's the most important. Nothing else no one else says, nothing else, somebody's daddy, mama, cousin, whatever, regardless of where they are on the totem pole, regardless if they're a celebrity, if they have more money than you, less money, whatever, if they have more followers, Instagram likes, whatever it is. What do you think about yourself? And then positioning yourself to know that you ultimately are the, you're the expert on you. More than anyone else, what you're good and what you're capable of, and you just need to acknowledge yourself.
Absolutely. Love that so much. Love that so much. The action steps that I believe that you have to take, or the things it is that the steps, that's the word I'm looking for, it is that I believe that you have to take, is the very first thing you have to do is literally release the past. And when I say release the past, that means the expectation that your parents placed on you, the expectations that the environment placed upon you, the expectations that past relationships put up on you. You have to release those expectations and understand the fact that you are an adult now. You get to make a new decision, and nobody gets a vote in your life unless you allow them. So at this point, the very first thing is to release the past. And of course, that is the past that no longer serves you, because there could be a full sentence said or a full philosophy it is that you live by. Well, that philosophy may no longer serve you in whole, but there may be some excerpts of it that you still like and can hold on to and can kind of create a hodgepodge of your own and create a philosophy that you can live around. But you need to release the full, what I always call it is stop holding, or what I always say is stop holding yourself hostage to someone else's expectations.
There you go.
Okay? So that's the first one. The second one that I do believe in is once you release it, you have to replace it with something positive. And you'll always hear me coming back to this. It's really affirmations. You have to really tell yourself what it is that you believe about yourself. And even if you don't believe it, what it is you want for yourself in its highest form. I start off with my very first and basic one, and that is I am whole, perfect, and complete. That's a fantastic one because for me, that is so empowering because it lets you know that you have every single thing that you need right now to do whatever it is that you want within you. You have the ability to, and most people think it's money, people think it's people, but what really is needed is you and your belief in it first before any of that comes into play. And then my third and final one is taking action. If you don't take action, it's really just a dream. It's the equivalent of being asleep, and is how I always like to describe it, and having a fantastic dream and you waking up and your reality is the same. You have to take action because that gives you courage to do the next thing and the next thing. And it just continues to ripple itself out from there. Anything to add on that?
No. I do have one little piece that I wanted to add on to what I said earlier, and that is no human life is above another. So regardless of wherever that person's stance is and all that good stuff, like I said, along with the whole triggers, you want to look out for those words, for those comments, for the environments, for the foods, for the behaviors, different things that may trigger something inside of you to have a belief about yourself. You want to just acknowledge that and know how to overcome it in that moment. As Sherilyn said, just utilizing the affirmations is a great one.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jessica. Yes. So I think that is really where you start. Now let's talk about how it affects us personally and in business. I think all of that, what we just talked about, is how it affects us personally, right? Yeah. That's how we show up in life. And basically, if you have that mindset or if you have that belief, that is what is causing you to not be as big as you want in the world. That's what's causing you to not start that business it is that you want, to not go further in that business if you have started, to not make more money it is in that business. We are a whole person having a whole experience. So I always tell people and my clients and anyone I come in contact with, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if this is how you are in your personal, you are absolutely seeping over into your business life, and it is interrupting your forward momentum, right? So we want to make some changes with that. So what we have recommended here will not only work and be effective and positively affect your personal life, but it would also positively affect you in business. So it serves dual purpose. And I mean, does that not match? We are moms. So that's just what we do, right? Automatically. So I think that's it. I really think that was hugely important. I'm glad I got that off my chest. I know I wrap back around to that topic often, but it is the number one thing that is defeating us. If it's not number one, I would really truly say it's in the top 10 of number of things that we are using against ourselves that is defeating us, right? So I have to talk about it every time it comes up, and perhaps there are new ways every time, or maybe a different light bulb that will pop on, or maybe you'll understand a little bit more this time than you did last time. So I think that's it for me. Jessica, how about you?
No, I think everything on the nail.
Love it. Love it. Well, that's it then for us for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking time. And if it serves you, please definitely do share this with other people.
Oh, you know what? I do want to know what you guys think about Kim Kardashian's upbringing. Like, what do you think about her going into her motherhood journey and how that will translate into her children, and what her mindset is in relation to her mother, Kris? So if you can leave a comment down below, I'd love to hear your insight on that.
Love that. Oh, that was a good one. Love that. I'll comment. Go back in and comment on that, right?
Yes, we will definitely come back and we can have this as a little dialogue, a friendly dialogue. How you think it is that this will translate into their legacy, into their family legacy. This whole mindset of getting out there and just, what is it? Getting money, like getting the coins. I don't know. I guess that's what they call it.
Oh, Jessica, I love that. I think you just mentioned our next topic, a mom's millionaire mindset. So you will have to stay tuned or check us out in our next episode to see what it is that we have to say about that and how we can translate that into your everyday activities in order to increase revenue, happiness, and just that mindset shift it is that we are talking about. So we are going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Again, if it serves you, please do definitely share this on all your social media platforms. If you have a question, if you disagree, agree, let us know in the comments. We definitely will follow up and answer and extend the dialogue in whatever way it is that we
will be placing a form here underneath the YouTube video where you can sign up to receive notifications the next time we come on, as well as we'll have a place for you to list any topics you'd like for us to talk about or any questions you may have. So go ahead and take a look for that link. And it's just a Google form, so we're not all fancy or anything. It's very easy, simple, streamlined for you to use, totally free. We're just here to be of service to you. So yeah, make sure you fill it out and let's chat. Let's dialogue.
Yes. Love it. So we're going to get out of here, but before we do, remember, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectation of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought that you could be. Bye.